get a printout for the utility and the telephone, so I might be able to drop those some because our utility costs from 22 to 23 on to 23, 24 dropped about $1,000. Which I don't really know why.
Well, that's all to do with the price of propane, whatever you're paying for utility on the electric. So I'd be careful about dropping that because the price of propane could increase, and it will in the winter.
Well, the other piece to that is there a water line item?
Yeah.
Everybody's water's gonna be like triple.
That's right.
Water went up way up.
Water went up, way up, yeah.
So I mean, I guess I just need to get and see our monthly costs right now, and then I'll look at the winter
that's good.
projection. And then our telephone,
That's the internet-based phone system.
that's why that changed.
That's why it changed,
Okay.
because we went to
We
that internet.
supposedly would save a lot of money.
Well,
Over the long run.
it looks like you did, because I dropped from about $1,500 telephone bill to a $90 telephone bill for my 24, 25 actual.
No, I think that's a mistake. We have to charge you what we should.
Well,
It's a
I've got
distribution error.
a
We'll fix that.
$1,600 budget, so you can charge as much as you used to.
We'll fix that.
And then there's a couple little, like I have a maintenance and repair budget and then an equipment maintenance and repair budget. I'll probably just roll that into one. So, yeah, I guess besides the personnel costs,
See, she's got a labor sheet that she just needs to know, and right now it's you and Billy, right?
yeah,
Now, you're kind of unique because Golden Valley pays for part of it. But the way that should be dealt with is you should still budget fully for what you guys are, and then it's a revenue, we should be
well, and I think,
counting on the revenue, unless they pay directly. Do they pay directly?
well,
They pay you a check?
No, Golden Valley?
Yeah.
No, so I think how mine works is we do these county agreements. I'm not on the county social security, the county unemployment, workers' comp. I'm not on any of that.
That's coming, but we're getting a bill from the extension office.
We pay a claim to MSU for his salary
But
every
not for
month.
Billy, right?
Not for Billy, she's on the county.
So Billy is a county employee. I'm technically a Montana State University.
Gotcha.
So I think all of these line items are going to be just for Billy.
The only thing to get Billy right though is we need to know if Golden Valley is paying directly or if we're paying Billy and they're paying us. I think they're paying directly.
That's they pay Musco County
Okay.
admin support.
And we need to budget for what she's gonna be, but we also need to budget the revenue that we're gonna get.
And they don't pay Billy a ton for revenue.
No, but it's like $3,500 or something.
I'll have to look. But yeah, so I just need to go over that, and then
Or maybe that's them partially paying for you too, right? Well, they're not for what?
they pay directly to MSU,
Okay.
same as Musco County.
All right.
But I know what you're talking about. They do send a check to Musco County for Billy's salary,
Okay.
and I'll find out. I'll have to find out what that is.
I know we're splitting hairs, but just understanding the concept is.
Yeah. I'll make a note of that. And then the other thing is I'm waiting on is a decision from everybody involved about the fairgrounds coordinator position.
Yeah, I was gonna raise that as an imminent condition. You need to finish that, finish the roles and responsibilities, get the advertisement, hire the person. Because we had another incident where I got a call from Cody with the sheriff's department, we couldn't get an hour.
Yeah. Oh, I got that call, I think it was Saturday night or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I was like, I'm in Columbus, guys. Like,
Yeah, it's like, if we need somebody on point for that.
But also, I
that's
feel
a
like-
fair board issue that we're just gonna
Well-
need to kind of babysit that group and say, what are we gonna pay them?
Yeah, it is, but also I don't really know what you do about that, because even if you hire a fairgrounds coordinator, I mean, it was like 8:30 at night when I got the call. So you
Yeah, but
can't-
that would be part of their job. They'd be on point. They'd be on call, so to speak.
Then how do you pay them for that though? Because if you're technically on call 24/7, then that's fine at their salary, but if they're hourly, you can't do that because a lot of, like, if on-call hourly
Well,
people.
then let's say that if they get called down, they need to be available. If they get called down, they can charge the time.
Well, that's fine, but if you're saying they need to be available, most places that do that pay half-time during the available on-call hours.
Well, we
We
pay
don't think- we don't think-
$3.25 to the ambulance.
Damn lucky to have that job.
The ambulance is on-call, and they, I think, get $3.25 an hour, $3.50.
Right.
You know, maybe we could work something like that out.
I mean,
No,
if it was me,
it's a valid point, but it's like, okay.
if it was me taking the position and somebody was like, hey, you need to be on call every weekend if something goes wrong at the fairgrounds, I'd tell you that I don't freaking.
Right, because that means you can't go take
Or there
a
needs to
trip
be a
here.
designee.
I'm never here.
Yeah.
Somebody,
We're gonna have to work with that.
yeah, but you get the point. Somebody has to respond to this stuff. And they have to be knowledgeable.
They do it, but at the same time, if you're camping down at the fairgrounds, I don't know. They do, but it's like, are we a hotel service at the same time for some of that stuff? And I think something like that will get better as we get better infrastructure down at the fairgrounds. Certainly, 'cause I don't know exactly what happened with the power plant, but
It's a knowledge issue. Nobody knows how to, because nobody's educated on how everything works. And
it is. But I'm just saying it makes it a really tough position if you're going to tell someone that, hey, on a Saturday night at 9 p.m. you can get a call for something going wrong and you have to get down there.
Yeah, you'll have to get out of the car and go down there.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying though. It's like That's fine
I think I know what you're saying.
Like that's one thing
But
if you're an
I'm
ER
not
nurse
sure
making
it's a-
150.
I'm not sure it's gonna be a showstopper, as people understand. I don't think that will limit the number of applicants.
It might not. Maybe I'm just thinking for me, but like
But now is it legal? I mean.
that's kind of my concern. It's like
So we need to address that.
Well, it's legal to do that. You're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna pay them for the time they're spending down there. I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I'm on call for the sheriff's department 24/7. I routinely get calls in the middle. And now I understand I get paid more than whoever our supervisor down there is, but I mean, I have a significantly higher level of education than we would probably need for down there, and the Juris Doctorate and licensure and everything else. But I mean, I'm down to maybe once a week now. Somebody at the sheriff's department calls me up between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. It's actually slowed down for me now. In Amcon, it was usually between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. I go into work 3 times a week, you know, and I mean, if they go into it expecting that, you know, this is just part of the job, we need somebody who's gonna be able to help out, it's, you know, at least it won't be a surprise.
When my husband worked for Bank One, he was in charge of internet banking. He routinely got calls in the middle of the night.
I guess, man, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, like the last couple times I've gotten a call, I've kind of told them to shut it because I'm like, you know, maybe it's a generational thing, but yeah, hey, if it's
You were
Saturday, I already work my
you were completely
50
wrong.
hours. You know, I'm just saying.
But if you're salaried,
I think
that's
it's an
part of your
issue,
salary.
I think it's an issue. we need
Doing what it
to
takes.
Kind of work out,
You're
but I
right.
think it's easy to solve.
And
Also, you're gonna have Randy down there, you know.
And you're right, maybe it won't be an issue for every applicant, but it's something to think about.
It is, definitely. So, it's legitimate. But I'm just saying the need is becoming more and more pronounced. I think there's all kinds of benefits
Well, it is,
that
and
can be going on that aren't going on.
it is, and the thing about it is, if we're gonna do it, then we're running up against it. If we're gonna do it for next year, because we're making our budgets out.
Yeah.
And I've got the extension budget, the fair budget here. So that's why I'm saying we gotta decide.
But then, wasn't part of your extension budget, your 4-H piece, gonna help the fairgrounds budget?
If we hire a fairgrounds coordinator, on one of the proposals I had, there could be a cost share situation.
All right.
if you don't take any money away from me. So,
That's a big if.
yeah. So that's potential too.
Well, we need to understand that going into budget season too.
Well, right, and that's why I'm finishing up the extension side, so I know, actual revenue versus expenditures. And from what I've done so far, that is possible for sure to do that cost share. On the extension side. The fair budget side, we've already talked about, there might have to be some moving around if we end up hiring that kind of personnel.
They're gonna need some more money. Otherwise, they'll have no money and they can't do it. So, I'd love to see what we can do there. But- So that one's gonna require a little bit of study. It really is. You got me thinking, you know, we do have some candidates, you know, I don't know if Angie's still interested, but
She's being flighty about it on purpose, I think, just about.
so the sooner we get, you know, so your concern, I think, will have a lot to do with candidates.
I think it would, I also just don't wanna take advantage of people.
Well, and honestly, there can also be like somebody, there could maybe be,
What's it gonna do?
there's gotta be somebody that somebody can call to get down, which, that's just the end of the day.
Yeah, and maybe we can find somebody, I don't know, I haven't obviously done much
Maybe-
hiring.
maybe they-
We have a Shires Reed. who's been working on that. We have a sheriff.
Yeah. Like I
Probably gonna
said,
wind up being you, so there has to be.
guess what, I'm hardly ever in town on weekends, so good luck. Like I said, like they called it out last weekend, I was like, I'm in Columbus, so.
We have a sheriff, we have a county attorney, we have an extension agent.
I think we go
Some
down there,
alternatives
but
here.
we don't know how everything works down there. That's, you know. Tribal knowledge, you know, and Will might be a perfect candidate, but he's got other stuff going on.
Will.
He knows how, the guy that works down there now.
Was that his name? Will?
Yeah, well,
Hold on here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I know. Yeah, he's down good.
I don't know, I guess, Sean, you might have some input on that, with the job you work and everything. So we're talking about that fairgrounds coordinator position. And we're talking about, like, we had a well, you know, because it comes to the sheriff's office, of like, calls at 8:30 and things like that, on weekends or whatever. And if we hire this fairgrounds coordinator position, is it fair? How do you expect that, not expect that? What's compensation like for that? If we are like, hey, you're expected to be available for that.
Well, I think it's impossible with just one person to be 365, 24/7. But for my deputies, because of their pay scale, they're special. They're on the 7K exemption for the Fair Labor Standard Act. You can't do that with a 40-hour employee. But one of the things that they get is if they do get called out on the weekend, it's a $50 call out. And it's been $50 for a really long time. I've been thinking about saying, well, you should bump that up to 75. But, because that's, it used to be okay back when, because it was $50 when I started. It's been $50 forever. But, to bump, but that would be, that kind of a compensation thing. If something comes up on a Wednesday or a Friday or Saturday night, you get called out, you get to write your hours down, and you automatically get $50, no matter if you're there for 15 minutes or 45 hours.
That's an option too.
Yeah, that's just a call out.
But you can't expect somebody, like, the way you started that, to say, now I get your point, well, that means I can never take vacation.
Right.
So there has to be a backup plan. There has to be.
It's called sheriff.
Call a sheriff.
Yeah.
They'll get $50.
Yeah.
But it's the knowledge of how the facility works, that's what we really want. It really depends on the nature of the call too, to be honest.
So they called me last Friday night, or texted me last Friday night. Unfortunately, I didn't see the text, I didn't hear it. Phone was in the office. Usually if it doesn't ring, I don't go look at it, and unless I'm gonna use it. wanting to know how to turn the lights on. And I would have been able to tell them how to turn the lights on, I've got the codes. But it's one of those things. Some of that simplistic stuff like that, like how do we turn the lights on? Well, here's the code for the locks. Don't fry yourself. We could do that. But as far as how do we run the rope and shoots, well, you don't have that knowledge, maybe you shouldn't be written the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty case dependent. Maybe it'll be nice or helpful in the future of like, once we get everything down, like water maps. But I mean, it's like, what do you even do? Like if somebody calls me at 8:30 at night and says the power's not working, like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Right.
Like what, you know, like.
Good information, but.
Well, that's-
Location anyway.
Call Northwest Energy. Is it on Fergus or Northwest? It's Northwest.
It's Northwest.
West down there.
Well, and that's what I told the dispatcher. I was like, call Kirk Electric and see if he wants to go down, but I'm not an electrician. I don't know why it's not working. I mean, even if I did have the full electric schematic of the fairgrounds, I still wouldn't know what that is.
What was the cause of it?
Yeah,
I'd shut it down.
Troubleshoot. Is it a breaker? Is it just a straight up breaker or is it?
yeah.
Or did somebody drive a fence post through it?
That's why.
And that's a really tricky one, you know, because there might be somebody cut a line or something. And so that's what drove getting the coordinators came from. is-
Right, but I'm just saying, I don't think we can expect them,
I think you're right.
because like even if you get a coordinator, like I said, what are they gonna do? Water's not working, power's not working. It's like, well, how they're
Well,
gonna
they're
fix it.
supposedly know who to call,
No,
you know.
But even then, like, you're not gonna get a plumber out there till Monday. You're not gonna get an electrician out there.
Well, you
Right.
may not, but like something like the lights, that'd be really easy.
Right.
but that's something the dispatch can supply them with that information.
That's kind of my
Just
point
tell
on
them,
that, I
you know,
guess.
Unless you
It's
want it turned on or
legitimate
turned
concern.
off, there's nothing more I can do for
Right.
you.
And that's maybe it's as simplistic as this. We give a flow sheet of two communications in a binder. If the lights are not on or they want the lights on, this is a combo to the locks, this. You know, if the water's not on, apologize, but we'll call Juan Sibley, see if he's got a valve shut off. He's the city manager. If not, we'll have to have a plumber come out. Those type of things.
Yeah. Well, also the thing I wonder about then is like, and this is a little nitpicky, are we gonna pay for part of their phone then? If they're giving their cell phone number out?
Yeah, we can do that. We do that with a lot of them.
Okay.
I don't know how many claims we signed for $20.
And like I said, it's nitpicky, but at the same time,
No, because you're in the weeds of trying to determine what this person's gonna have to
and I mean, you wanna give them a fair shake.
You're catching all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
No, we want to exploit them, is what we want.
That's what we do.
No, it's, honestly, I think that if the coordinator's familiar with how the fairgrounds work, a lot of this is no-brainer stuff. They'll know how to handle these things.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to fulfill, is, that's why I like the term coordinator. You know, but if we can handle some of it through dispatch, hell, you know.
Yeah, and then it will help just having the coordinator, because we can get a solid information sheet to give dispatch that has everything on a page or two, and that would be helpful. as
See, there's
well.
all these curb stops out there.
Well, and the other thing about it is the coordinator, after a period of time, if X doesn't work, he needs to know, he'll know, I just need to go over here and turn Y on and X will work.
Yeah,
And, or whatever that is, you know, that's
But the biggest problem we have with power, okay, is lockout, tagout safely. And that's where the coordinator needs to understand. If there's been a line disrupted or something, and the power junction box needs to be locked shut, it can't be accessible for the public to come and flip it back on.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. So,
Well, I've got one more quick thing.
Okay.
I was curious, this is more of just general thoughts that I've been trying to figure out with this newer job. What is the best way, do you think, for me to take comp time in your guys' opinion? because if I add it up, I've got every month, say revolving, a 4-H council meeting, rodeo committee meeting, which I don't have to go to, but I go to because I think it's a big event in the fairgrounds, and try to help out with what I can. A fair board,
Is this basically banking hours?
what's that?
Banking hours and then you
That's all that.
Right, comp time, yeah, because I don't get overtime. So I'm looking for some thoughts here. I have, so 4-H council, fair board, rodeo, this conservation district, I'm gonna start going to. Generally, so that's just 4,
Okay.
and then there's others like watershed, that I go to the watershed meetings. And then like every once in a while, I'll go into a club meeting. And then like right now, obviously, and then there's other stuff for extension that I do where I go to conferences and whatever.
Understood.
But I'm just saying monthly, month to month, that's about 5 meetings I have every month that on average are about 3 hours.
So that's almost a full week.
Well, you could adjust your work schedule that week, like your days. I'm gonna
That's
start
what
at
I'm
this
asking.
time. Yeah,
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what I mean?
asking.
I'm
Is
start at
that-
1
I
today.
was gonna, my answer was gonna be at your discretion.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is it better? Well,
Sometimes addressed in the policies and procedures manuals.
you got a policy for procedures manual?
Well, Mike has it.
Well, that's for county employees.
I do.
Well, and the MSU policy is basically up to your discretion too, but I'm just saying, do you think it's better to just bank those until the winter time? Because, and honestly, like, I can't take all those
Yeah.
that time off right now. With
That's what,
fairgrounds.
you are the one that knows best how you can balance your comp time versus when you're eating. Unless there's something in the policy, then I would just say at your discretion, what do you think is the best way to manage it?
Yeah, there's something I want to talk to you guys about, because I was starting
Well,
to.
it's kind of an awareness on our part, that a lot of your time is spent in meetings off hours.
Oh, right, and then I've talked to Tracy about like,
Yeah.
hey, if I get sent like that national conference deal, I was like, I was in Billings for a week and a half, like I got stuff to do at home. It's not like it's a full-time job at home or anything, but if I'm out of the country, I'm counting. I told her I'm gonna start counting from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. So then you think about that too. And it's like, if I have to be not at home,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna count, I'm not gonna do a run the clock the full time, otherwise I'd never be at work.
Yeah.
But like I told her, like, I'm probably gonna start doing like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and she's like, yeah.
Well, then if you think about it, there may be enough time in the winter to absorb taking that person.
Well, I know, but then you think about, so like that national conference, I was gone for like, I think it was like 7 days.
Typically, when I go on a conference, like we go to Mako, it's an 8-hour day, you know.
Right, but like, we got heifers at, you know what I mean? It's
But
like,
I know, it's like, but what if they start at 7 and they end at 7:30 or something, you know?
and even if they don't do that though, I'm saying is how do you
He's
do-
saying being away from home and not being able to do chores and stuff at home.
Yeah.
That's just
being
kind of a
away from
thing.
home in general, it's like. So I told her,
You see what the
it's-
policy says. isn't it?
yeah, and I've talked to extension agents about it, but it's kind of different everywhere, so it's like,
Did they tell you that up front when you took the job, that that would be something that would be required travel?
yeah, they also told me I get comp time. So they didn't tell you the exact formula.
I would go back to them since they're the ones paying you.
Yeah. Well, my point
You
about.
might get a suggestion, there may be other extension agents.
Well, and I did, I talked to, that's what I'm saying, I talked to Trace about it, but then I'm like, well, if I do that, I was going for a week at annual conference, that's 6 days, because it includes the weekends, so then I guess the weekend is more, because we're
So
doing.
you've banked like maybe 12 days of 8-hour days.
In the last month, if you count all my meetings and everything, so I'm like, well, I can't take all that time off, or I'm not gonna, so, I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about, and like, it's part of the job too, I get that, but.
Yeah, you're salary and professional, so.
That's right.
Right, but
What
if
happens?
I'm salaried
Right, for the
professional,
brand.
yeah.
And the other
And
thing
that's what
about
you
it,
get paid the
though,
big
is at
bucks
some point
for.
you have to be smart about taking care of yourself. And,
Yeah.
and instead of coming in at 8 in the morning, come in at 9:30,
Like the
Exactly.
sheriff.
you know?
We're off schedule, you guys.
If on a Friday you don't have anything going on and there's nothing pressing, leave the office at 3 or noon.
That's the discretion, obviously. You know when you're needed,
Yeah.
you
And that-
know.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
That's it. But the fact of the matter is you gotta take care
But
of
if
it.
you bank any more than 7 hours of comp time a month, it doesn't count.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what
That's
it,
all you're talking about.
yeah, I guess, because I was just adding up and I was like, yeah, I've got a full week of comp time banked, like,
Well, it's right.
in the last month, though, is what I'm saying. So like, I can't only work 3 weeks a month.
What a good problem to
So-
have.
Yeah.
Looking back at my retirement, right, 2,080 hours is considered full-time. I have a couple of years that have 2,500 hours in them.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
But see, that's what you get to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a generational
for
thing. I
sure.
can see the difference in attitude. We grew up saying, thank you.
Yeah, God, I'm just lucky to get
Thank
to
you,
work
sir.
here, by God.
Thank you, sir. I have another.
And don't get me wrong, I do use it, like, there was a couple weeks ago, somebody called us and their techers out, so Dad and I went and got them in on like a Wednesday.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know.
Actually, it's great. It's great. I think it's a great add to your flexibility. I mean,
Well, that's why I got the job. I'm just letting you know it's something I'm thinking about, so you guys
Understood.
know, and I haven't got it all worked out yet.
Ask the question now, because when we tell you no,
Yeah.
you'll have 3 or 4 more days to sleep on it, and we'll do all over.
and you'll soon learn what to ask us about, what not. This will be the good
You
news
got
that
it.
gets punished.
What you got, Sheriff?
Yep.
We are way off schedule.
Yeah, okay.
You took an hour and you were
I got
responding for a half.
I got-
We got here early and you're
I
like,
got,
okay, well, you don't get an hour, you get 30 minutes, so we're moving on.
But Reed, thank you for the
Talk to Bonnie, you need an hour.
proactive thinking.
Yeah, very good.
So, this afternoon, we'll be interviewing 2 candidates
Remember, Justin never comes back.
for deputy position. For Randy Randall's position, we'll be conducting interviews with 2. Thought it was gonna be 3. One of the people, their business they were working for didn't want them to quit, give them a $4 an hour raise. It worked. Yeah, it did. They pulled their app, so, and they were maybe the better candidate of the 3, but we'll see. Ultimately, these are the 2025 numbers to date. There's, I don't know, there's some good things, there's some, everything's going up, 13% increase overall calls. And it's just with our population, you see at the bottom, 34% increase in medical calls. That's our aging population. This Muscle Shoals County demographics, we're old. Most of us are really old. Some of us are ancient. So,
How old
I would,
I resemble that.
nobody.
We're so old that
So, you see the increases in traffic stops, that goes in hand with the, like reduction in traffic. A lot of times you guys, especially the younger guys, they don't have any casework, so they're out doing traffic, trying to stay busy. And looking for dope and stuff and those type of things, but, yeah, those are, and then you just look at the quarter, the next page is just,
actually, one thing I think we're flagging here is theft is down. And that probably have to do with the rest of the prosecution.
yeah.
So, I'm gonna agree with you, so the more, and do you mind if I speak, Sheriff?
Nope, sure, go ahead.
The correlation you see is when you're having more drug arrests, you tend to see more thefts because folks are stealing to support their habit. And in the last year, the sheriff's department has cornered, I'd say, 3 different groups of individuals who were likely committing like 90% of the thefts in town. I mean, would you say that's correct?
Probably.
You know, more than 90%. Okay, and by cornering those groups and then prosecuting them, that has reduced the reoccurring thefts, right? Because we've already got them. And those were the same individuals who were bringing drugs into the community with them and using drugs around other people that then the sheriff's department was picking up during the first traffic stop.